All right, let's now bring in our senior reporter, Canny Maphanga, who's been following the commission and is live for us in Pretoria. Canny, a very good afternoon to you. So General van Rooyen's testimony so far is really helping us to anchor the distinction between ministerial oversight, policy, as well as police operational control. Just speak to us about that testimony and how the legal framework within the SAPS supports the Commission's core mandate, essentially.
Indeed. Good afternoon to you, Unati, and to the viewers at home. That is what you expect from expert testimony when it is brought before a commission of inquiry of this nature. Essentially, what the commission did was it zoomed into the legislative framework that governs policing in South Africa. That is the SAPS Act, read together with the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Of course, a strong focus on the Constitution in order to draw a distinction between the role of the minister as a policy head and then, of course, the role of the National Commissioner of SAPS as an operational head. As that testimony was brought through the commission in order to assess whether this action relating to the disbandment of the PKTT was lawful or not, the conclusion that Major General van Rooyen had concluded from her analysis based on the legislative framework is that because this directive directly went into the realm of the operations of the police by issuing a directive stating that the disbandment of the PKTT must happen and it must happen immediately, she states that that now moved into operational matters. And now because the minister does not have that power to deal with operational matters, that is something that exclusively belongs to the National Commissioner, then that decision became unlawful. What he could have done is expressed such a desire or such an opinion that the PKTT is no longer needed because, for example, political killings are no longer an issue in the country, if that was the case. But all he could do is express that opinion to the National Commissioner and then ask him to consider it. The implementation or how you give effect to such a desire or an expressed opinion lies in the hands of the National Commissioner of Police. Now that affirms Lieutenant General Mchunu testimony as well as General Fano Masumola's testimony that this particular demand or directive or instruction was unlawful on the part of the minister. It also has several other consequences for other actions that following this directive, because we know that Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya wrote a letter where he gave effect to this wish or this mandate coming from or emanating from the Minister of Police, that is Senzo Mchunu. Again, she finds that that is unlawful because the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, which is what the suspended Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya is, reports directly to the National Commissioner. He cannot give effect to the mandate given by a minister. So again, she invalidates that particular action by Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya and the Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. So at least more questions continue to mount for those particular individuals with respect to how the disbandment of the PKTT was handled. And of course, she elaborates, stating that there wasn't any report given to support such a decision. Now, this particular evidence is what we call the expert testimony. It comes from someone who specializes in that particular field. We know she's been in the service for 40 years and holds up to an LLD in that particular field. So we expect that tomorrow we'll get a new witness because she has concluded her testimony. And of course, hearings will begin at 9:30 a.m. Over to you in studio.
All right. Canny, thank you so much for that. But that is our senior reporter, Canny Maphanga, following the Madlanga Commission there for us live in Pretoria.